Hey guys, Crystal here with Crystal's Crafties. Today I'm going to do a video showing you how to use the images that you can find in Cricut Design Space. So first of all, to pull in an image, you're going to come over to your left toolbar and you're going to select Images. Then it's going to go in and pull up all the images that Cricut has available. You can browse through the images or categories or different cartridges if you have some cartridges which are kind of becoming obsolete now. But if you have something in mind, you can come into your search bar and type in whatever it is you're looking for. I'm going to be doing a watermelon shirt, so I've typed watermelon. And you can see some of these images are not free. Some of them have been created by other people and you'd have to pay to use them. So you're welcome to do that, but if you want to search for only free images, click Filter, then click Access and Free, and then it will only show you images for free. These access images are not actually free, they're just free for you if you subscribe to Cricut Access, which I highly recommend you do. There's so much stuff you're going to get for free if you subscribe to Cricut Access. Okay, so I'm going to scroll through. I'm going to use this watermelon right here, so I've selected it, and I'm going to hit Insert Images, and it will pull it into my project. And you'll see it in just a minute over here in the right bar, working on loading up that image. Okay, so there it is. You can see that it is in 4 layers. I want to turn this where it's just straight on the mat. That's just my personal preference. That has nothing to do with any of the editing. It's just how I like to look at it. Okay, so here is my big watermelon. You can see each of these layers is a full slice. When you look at your picture, you know you're only getting these crescents here, the green crescent, the white crescent, and then the full slice of the red. But they're actually big layers. If you were going to cut this out of vinyl, you would get that big chunk of green, then you'd have to put your white on top of that, your brown on top of that, and your red on top of that. But nobody wants to layer that many layers of vinyl. It's going to start to get wrinkly and gross, and it's just not something that we want to do. So I'm going to show you how to work with this design to get it just to where you're not having to actually layer anything, you're just kind of having to place pieces together. So anytime you want to work with an image, the first thing you need to do is select your image, come over to your right tab and click Ungroup. That way you can work with each layer separately. Okay, I'm going to take out the red and I'm going to take out the brown, so I'm just working with my bottom 2 layers. I'm putting this on a white shirt, so I don't need a white layer. There's no point in layering white vinyl on a white shirt. So now that I just have my green and white layers, I'm going to select them both, and I'm going to hit Slice. Okay, so what that has done is it has removed the white from the green, and I can actually get rid of it again because I'm not going to use any white. And now I just have that crescent of the green, which is what I want. And let me get rid of this little line up here. Okay. Now I'm going to work with the red and the brown layers. So since I'm not going to be using this green anymore for now, I'm going to go ahead and hide it. And I'm going to pull back my white and brown layers. Okay, there's a couple things that I want to do here. First of all, I want my seeds of the watermelon to be on top of this layer here. I don't want them cut out. So a few different things I need to do to achieve that look. First of all, I need to duplicate this red layer, and you'll see why here in just a second. I've got it duplicated. I'm going to hide the layer I just duplicated. I'm going to work with that in just a second. Okay, now I want just the little seeds. I don't want this big brown layer back here. I just want little seeds. So I'm going to shrink that up some, and then I'm going to pull it back behind here. I'm going to highlight the two of these and I'm going to slice. Okay. And this right here is why we duplicated our red layer, because now it's all in pieces and it's not going to be as easy to work with. So I'm pulling all of this apart so you can see now I have just the seeds. I don't need any of this other stuff anymore. I'm going to get rid of it all. Okay, and I'm done with the seeds for now, so I'm going to go ahead and hide them again. And I'm going to pull back in my red layer that I had duplicated. So since I'm going to have black seeds to put on top, I don't need these holes cut out of my red layer. I want to fill those in. I'm going to come over to my shapes. I'm going to get a circle. Okay. Gonna unlock it so that I can move the circle to kind of make it like more ovalish. And I'm gonna move it over here and fill in all of those little holes. So I want my circle to cover up all the holes that were there for the seeds, and it has done that. I'm gonna highlight both of those again. And this time I'm gonna hit weld, and it's gonna make this little circle and my big slice all one piece, and it's going to get rid of the holes where the seeds were. There we go. So now I have my red slice, my brown seeds, they're behind it, so all I want to do is come up here to arrange and click move to front. They'll be in the front now. Unhide my green. Put it over here. Okay, and I'm going to turn these brown seeds, I'm going to turn them black. So I've selected the circle over here. I'm going to come down here to black, turn them black. And now if I wanted to put this on my shirt, it would cut this green layer, it would cut this red slice, and it would cut these black seeds, and I would just put on the green, then the red, and put the black on top of the red. It's a simpler process and I don't have so much layering going on. But this design I'm actually going to use this and put it on a shirt. So I want to do something a little different. I don't actually want the seeds. I'm getting rid of them altogether. I'm going to hide that back layer, and I'm going to cut the word melon out of the middle of the watermelon. So I need to come over here to text, type in my text. Okay, it's thinking about it. There we go. Okay. And anytime you type something in for the first time, it's going to come up in Cricut Sans, but I'm going to change that font. I'm going to go to my watermelon font. This is a font I have uploaded into my system. This does not come with your Cricut Design Space. Okay. Now I need to work with this font some, because what I want is for it to curve with the curve of the watermelon. So there's my word. I need to ungroup the font so I can work with each letter separately. Okay, I'm going to start with my L. I'm going to make it bigger. And I don't want it to get too wide, but I do want it long. I want it to take up most of the height of that slice. So now I'm going to drag it down and make it long. And I'm going to position it to the middle of the slice. Okay, next up is the O. I'm going to make it bigger. And I'm going to rotate it some because I'm curving the word along the curve of the bottom. And I'm going to bring it to connect to my L. I need to do the same thing with the N. So I'm going to make it bigger, and I'm going to rotate it and just kind of move it along where I want it to be. Okay, that's looking all right. You can play with these more to get them perfect. So now I'm going to rotate these letters in the opposite direction. M, make it bigger, rotate it. Okay, pull it over here, it's too close to the E. I'm going to make it bigger actually. My E is not at all where I need it to be. So I need to work with this E some. I want to make it bigger for 1. I'm going to pull it over some and see. Make it just a tad bit bigger. Okay, this isn't perfect. This is not how I would put it on the shirt. But to save time in this video, I'm going to leave it like this just so I can move on and show you how to finish this up. Okay, so that is the melon that we're going to slice out of the middle of this watermelon slice. So I'm going to move my red part. I'm going to select all of this word and I'm going to weld it together. You can see each one of these is a separate layer. It would be a separate cut. And when we want to slice something out of the middle, we can only work with 2 layers at a time. So I have to make all of this 1 layer. To do that, I weld it. It is all 1 layer now. So I'm going to pull my watermelon slice back up, move it around where I want it. Okay, I'm going to select these 2 layers and I'm going to slice. And now the word melon has been sliced out of the middle of my red watermelon slice. Pull that out, delete it because I don't need that anymore. Pull that out, delete it. Now I'm going to put my green little sliver here back in. I'm going to pull it down to where it's even with the top of my red. And that is what I'm actually going to put on the shirt. But to kind of make it look like what I really want it to be, I'm going to turn my green to a darker green. And I'm going to turn my slice to this pinkish color. And that's it. That's what's going on my shirt. And that is how you work with images that you can find in Design Space. Rarely are they ever going to be perfect the way you want them, so you've got to use your attach, group, slice, and weld, and contour sometimes. You've got to use your tools to work with them and get them exactly the way you want them to be.